So I came looking into this new apartment. Austin was in jail for the rape charge and the probation violation, and I was pregnant with Melbourne. And I came to 1308 Houston Street, Conroe, Texas, and this is the follow-up about, us staying at 230 Avenue G, being the victim, Austin abusing me, getting assault, family violence charge, rape charge, being in the Montgomery County Jail on assault, family violence, and he was on probation, 2-year felony probation for assault on a public servant. Austin got a lot of charges. So, and it was a lot of abuse. So I walking into this apartment that Joseph paid $1,500 for me to move in, but it was my apartment. Cynthia co-signed, and I didn't know it was a 2-bedroom because when I first walked into the apartment, we had been walking around like this. So imagine y'all seeing my struggle of being on the streets pregnant and then finally walking in somewhere and somebody like, we'll accept you. Because all of the apartments out there were saying, oh, you got an eviction. We will not accept you because you have an eviction. And I found this apartment. It was through Keller Williams. I was renting through a woman named Michelle who was working as a leasing agent or a realtor or whatever at Keller Williams. And she was like, well, you got a job at Taco Bell. She was like, and I told, she knew I was pregnant, expecting my firstborn. And I had been limping around, bleeding when I walked up to the property. And there was some white women at the downstairs before Shay moved in downstairs. A black woman named Shay was living beneath me when all of this was going on, Austin abusing me and stuff. But there was a white woman living downstairs from me first. And she was blonde hair and she had a little boyfriend. And I remember limping to this woman with like Joseph little army fatigue coat on because he had given it to Austin and I was wearing it and I was limping, bleeding because I had tried to keep working at Taco Bell like that, and I still was working up there, and they was working me pretty hard, and I had slipped and fell up there, plus the abuse from Austin, and I had some light bleeding, like orange looking blood, not the full red blood. And I was limping, I could not walk, like I was worse than this, and I was small, I was in the beginning stages, and I was limping like this, looking around Conroe trying to find a new apartment. Austin was in jail, so he couldn't help me. And his family, they didn't give me no car right then. I was limping around and asking everybody, could I get an apartment? And I still had a job. And they was like, no, you got an eviction all over Conroe. And so I found this place, and she said to me, she was like, yes, but it'll be $1,500 deposit for the first month and last month rent. So it was $750 for the rent. When the woman told me yes, I contacted Cynthia and Joseph and were like, well, I got us an apartment, but it's going to be $1,500. And at the time, I only had about $400, you know what I'm saying? And I did not have enough to give her that much. And so I was trying to see, if they could help me pay it. And Joseph said he would pay it. Cynthia called me back and was like, oh, my goodness, okay, they're going to let me co-sign for you. And Joseph said he'll pay the $1,500. And they knew that I was pregnant with their first grandchild with my son. And so that was nice of them to me in my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm pregnant with their first grandchild and they're going to help me. So that's kind of why I trusted these people to an extent, but not all the way. And so next thing you know, when I walked into the apartment, when Michelle had told me I could come move in, she was like, I want you to come see the apartment. So I didn't know it was a 2-bedroom. Because I was so excited for me in Melbourne to have a home that I just ran in that mud, looked around like, oh, this is my new place. I'll take it. Because my mama was a queen. My mama was an African Nubian queen. And you could not put my mama nowhere on this earth and then say she was ghetto. She was going to turn anywhere that you put her into a palace because she was a queen. And I grew up under a queen. And there was nowhere that she ever raised me that was filthy and nasty that she did not turn into her palace and a palace for us. So I didn't care what the apartment really looked like. All I cared was that me and my baby had somewhere to be. And I knew I would fix it up, clean it up, or whatever. So when I ran up in there and I went in the living room, I said, I'll take it. So that little part of the kitchen where y'all see the shot. I'm gonna show y'all my apartment on the evidence, and you will see it's you come in the apartment, and then it was the living room and then the kitchen right there. And that's how I seen it when I walked in. I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. I'll take it. I didn't even know anything that it was a 2-bedroom. I'm thinking it was just a 1-bedroom. So when it was time for me to move in, she told me, oh, it'll be ready on the night before they evicting you. So even though I was walking up the street looking for an apartment, Maria was telling me I didn't have to be out the apartment till the end of the month, which was the day before I got to move into my new apartment. So God fixed it to where I can go into my new apartment now and didn't have to sleep on the streets. But I had to walk around limping, looking for the apartment. And nobody helped us do that. And so when I went into this place, and for the first time, I'm sorry, y'all, because I never had a 2-bedroom home before. Anytime when I was in college growing up, I only had a little 1-bedroom. And when I walked into the apartment, I looked around and I noticed it was 2 bedrooms. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's a 2-bedroom. My baby can have a nursery. And Maria had just put me out of a 1-bedroom. And I was like, the Lord has blessed me. Because, see, if I would have told Cynthia, oh, it's a 2-bedroom, she probably would have been like, oh, you don't need a 2-bedroom. You need to go and find you a 1-bedroom. I did not know it was a 2-bedroom. I thought it was a 1-bedroom. And it turned out to be a 2-bedroom. And I fixed up my baby nursery. Cynthia bought us little stuff. I wanted to put the stuff in his nursery. But Cynthia wanted to do it saying, I'm his grandma. I want to do it.